Welcome to Prime Testimony Channel. We are going to continue the discussion we started in our previous video, and this time we are going to look at who can be described as a sweet African woman. My brother, start with us.
Okay, Uncle, when we talk about
a sweet African woman,
I want to see a woman who takes care of her home. One, when a woman takes care of her home, she is sweet because it's a package on its own. Being sweet here means she's going to cook for the husband, for the children, and for even visitors who visit the home. When you have a woman who does not want to cook, either deliberately or she doesn't know how to cook, it means that there will be a problem in that home. Because there is a saying that the way to a man's heart is through the stomach. And you, the woman, if you don't know that way, how do you get to the man's heart? For him to see you to be sweet. Okay. So for you to be romantic, it means you have to take off your home. And one, you have to cook for the family.
All right.
Two, the woman should be neat. You should be able to tidy up the home, clean, wash. Because you cannot go to a woman's home and then things are messed up. Men naturally do not take interest in those kind of things. We can remove our shirt and put it anywhere. There should be a woman in that house who is ready to correct those errors.
Okay, before you continue, I think there's been this assertion that men usually do not, but I do not totally agree to that assertion because things are changing.
I understand.
So I think the fact that some men, they just put things around, I think it's about time African men also do that. Take a look at it.
I got to understand that, but sometimes certain conditions may not permit the man to maybe put his shirt or his shoe at the right place.
Okay, then I think that condition should be looked at very critically.
Yeah, it could be so critical that the man comes home, he's supposed to return at that moment.
Okay.
There should be that woman who is ready to correct those wrongs. Okay. It should not be that person that will not take it and then she will even add more.
Okay.
You come to the sitting room and it is messed up. You go to her kitchen. You know, those days, our great grandfathers used to say that the woman's office is the kitchen.
That was that time.
Yeah, and even now, the woman's second office is still the kitchen because that is where we are going to prepare the thing that will lead to the man's heart.
Oh, I see.
And so when we come to your second office,
so where is the man's second office?
The man's
second office
on the bed.
On the bed. That's beautiful.
Well,
let's continue.
And so when I come to the kitchen, the kitchen should be inviting me to eat.
Great.
Even if I'm not ready to eat, even if I'm sick, when I enter that kitchen, I should have some sense of what healing over there because the way the place is arranged, so the aroma of the food, how the saucepans are cleaned, should entice me. But you get there, you prepare banku yesterday or for the last week, and the pot is still there, not washed. Okay. Those things drive men away. And so when you do that, it means you are not sweet and you cannot be romantic.
Okay. All right.
Two.
Three. You are going to tell.
No, the point that all this that I'm saying, they go to support a woman that takes care of her home.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at a woman who is in charge of her home.
Okay.
This time around. At home, it is the woman that maintain the home. Okay. Because most often, men may be far away, but it's the women that stay in the house with children and other relatives. And so, if there's no man, there should be that mother there who is going to nurture the children. Okay. But if the father is away and the mother does not show concern about anything about that family, that woman cannot be called sweet because you have to train the children. Okay. In the absence of the man, you are there. That is why we said a man will leave his family and then join the wife to make a family. Okay. And so if there is no man, there should be an assistant there who is ready to what? Take charge, put things in order before the man comes. And when children go wrong, there should be that woman who is going to correct the children.
Okay.
When you do that, I see you to be a sweet African woman.
Okay, Robert, your contribution. Thank you.
Uncle, when we say a sweet African woman, like the name sweet suggests, I believe it should be a woman that is able to put things together to bring taste to the marriage or to the home.
Sure.
Or even if it's a relationship, to be able to spice it up. Sure. And such a woman.
When you say taste, can you detail what taste is?
Okay, the taste,
Yes.
the word taste to the marriages, I think.
Okay.
You want to know the taste.
Yes. And the taste has to be a pleasant taste. Because in taste, we have it in two ways. It can be an unpleasant taste and a pleasant taste as well. So when you say something tastes pleasantly, it means it is very appealing to anybody that takes the thing into the person's mouth.
Yeah, so he's using as a figurative expression.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
sweet the marriages. Okay, thank you.
Everybody would like to have a feel of that very particular thing that is tasting nice.
Okay.
So therefore, it should be a woman that is able to keep the man at home. It should be a woman that is able to communicate very well. And I have what we call environmental communication. That is my own term that I have used. And what simply this means is that as a woman, you have to look at the environment that you find yourself and where your man is. And you look at the people that are around before you can be able to put out a communication to your man. Even if it is in your home, you look at the people that are around. Is it in the midst of the children? Is it in the midst of other relatives? Then you look at the kind of communication that you want to have with your man before you can break out all those things. Other than that, you may end up putting out some kind of communication which you do not need to go to a third party. But because you did not consider the environment, you might have put out that information, which then will bring about some differences in the marriage.
Right,
And
before you continue, so if I understood it, means that a woman should not go and call the husband who is playing draft.
Exactly so. Exactly so. And like we are saying of late, we are in technological era. So if possible and you are not finding your man, probably know where your mind is. Aside speaking on phone, you can be able to send a text message. Or even you call the man and speak to them, oh, please, maybe the food is ready, come and have your food, and blah, 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 blah. So you should be able to control even the dieting of the man. Because you know that even when the man puts on so much weight, it comes alongside with a lot of issues. Which when is not being controlled, eventually it will come back to harm the family as well. And that ideal woman or that sweet woman should also be a woman that is also very romantic. A woman that can be able to bring the woman to the barest minimal. I mean, talking about issues when it comes to love affairs and even in bed. Because there are some of the women, for them to be able to put on the kind of thing that will even entice the man is very difficult. They just do anything just like that in the house.
Examples.
And when you do that and the man is not seeing the kind of thing that he expects to see, because here I am we are so much interested in things that we see. So if the man is not seeing your curvy shapes and those kind of shapes, even if you are not curvy enough, the kind of things that you can be able to put on to attract your man to your side, all those things add up to spice up the marriage. And by so doing everything, then we can consider that woman as a sweet African woman.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so in fact, I'm going to sound a little bit controversial here, but then yeah. You see, one of my fellow men were talking. They were talking about then the man, then the lady who cook, the lady who know how to cook, who know how to wash. You see, we have to just get this thing once and for all. We don't marry a woman to come and cook.
Exactly.
We don't marry a woman just to come and also wash for us. Because when we were not married, we were washing.
Exactly.
And we were cooking too. So that, you see, that is one of the things that, fine, the fact that she has come to support it doesn't mean that it is like, what we are saying is like, it is a mandatory that she should make sure she cook or something of that nature. That's why I said it is very controversial here. But that time, we'll leave it for another day. Now, like when you talk about the sweet African woman, a woman who is wife, but not a knife.
And what's the meaning of that?
Who is wife but not a knife?
An African woman is a woman who is a wife, but not a knife. And We all know characteristics of a knife, right?
Of course we do.
You see, a sweet African woman know how to control her temper. A sweet African woman is a woman who know how to carry herself in terms of going out for occasion. A sweet African woman is a woman who know when and how to approach her partner. A sweet African woman is a woman that always put a smile on her man's face. As in, our brother made mention of an approach that some African women, in fact, but the word romantic, they are too static and mechanical.
Which people?
Some ladies.
Some ladies,
Some
not
ladies.
all.
No.
All right, some African ladies.
I got to. Even in the bedroom. You know the sex position called Bajida Wayabo.
Which one is that? Is that Adam and Eve?
Yes, Adam and Eve, the traditional way. And then when the man tells her, oh, Ajwa, there's a lot of stars on the internet. Won't you try and learn something? This is okay. At least we all enjoy. It is not about the enjoyment, too. It's about the dynamism. You just want to talk about the sweet African, see the way the gestures that I'm making.
Yeah.
So that when you talk about the sweet African woman, it's a woman that her makeups alone. When you talk about the makeups, I don't necessarily mean that kind of polishing on the
Not
face.
the pains.
No, the pains.
Yeah.
Is it?
Makes
Yes.
you understand. Yeah, we
You see,
understand.
it will interest you to know that some of the ladies, so they don't like trimming. They don't trimming. They don't like to shave. So for that matter, you don't like wearing abasatiana.
So if I understand you, sweet African ladies,
Yes.
trim.
Trim.
Great.
They trim regularly. They trim regularly.
I see.
So they can wear any kind of attire.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
So some of them, because they don't trim, they don't even like wearing
What?
sleeveless attire.
Oh, so are you trying to say that some don't trim, so when they are walking, they walk like this?
Yes, so you know, even if they go for a rubbers and they ask them to raise their hand.
All right.
Now I get it.
Okay.
So when you talk about it, so we are talking about a woman that has all the good qualities in Proverbs chapter 31.
And what is that?
And it means that a woman that supersedes all women, that makes her husband priority. You understand? Her priority.
All right.
And then she also makes sure that the children that come out from it. Is in mind you, marriage, you will not see the how do you call it, the pros and cons of marriage unless children comes in.
Yeah.
Because when you are two, you know you are two, how to manage yourself. But you see, man, you know, the full meaning of man is, the man is an acronym. But the full meaning, in my own ways, you manage all the nonsense. You make sure you manage all the nonsense. So the sweet African woman is a woman that always cheer her man up.
All right. I know our brothers want to add.
Yeah.
Robert, are you ready?
I want to.
Okay, yeah, please come on.
Before I give my point, I want to disagree with my brother.
Okay, yeah, please go
For
ahead.
saying that we don't marry a woman to come and cook or to come and wash. Oh yes.
All right. If I understand, I think that we don't marry a woman with the sole aim of. It means that you do it, but not for that purpose.
Yes.
Okay. So please go
Me
ahead.
too. Because I can't wash. That is why I'm going to get a woman to my house.
Then I understand.
So it's not a laundry.
Right. So you can add.
When our ladies were talking, they made some profound statements that I would want them to relate it to men too. I would want to relate to the women too. What they expect from men. Men also sometimes expect those things from them. One, they said that the man should be able to protect the woman. They even use food, even if the food is not tasty. Don't embarrass her. Don't do this. It's fine. I agree.
That's women protection.
Yes. The same way, when you are a woman, and then there is a day your husband is unable to provide housekeeping money, that day his name should rest. That should not be the day that he regret marrying you.
Or found condom in his pocket. You have to keep quiet.
That is a difference.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
In as much because for a marriage to be sweet, it's a two-way affair.
You're right.
The man does for the woman, so as the woman also does for the man.
Yeah.
And so there's a woman who are very dramatic. You wake up in the morning and she knows that today you have no money, but she will not let you rest. A sweet woman who understands that today my husband has no money. Let me take over.
Yeah.
But the other way around will come out, insult you for everybody to see that
For
today,
the whole people
the whole
in
community, the whole
just
town,
need to know.
for them to know that today this man did not give house giving money.
Right.
And that day you will not eat.
Not eat alone. You not eat and you not eat.
All right. You are listening to a prime testimony. Thank you very much. He's saying that the kind of protection women expect that their loved ones, the men, should give them, equally, the men also expect them to protect them, such that should a man be in difficulty, the woman should not go out complaining for the whole area and even those beyond to hear what's happening in the home. Brother, continue.
I got to, when you listen to some men who are married, they will tell you that women who are married, some women who are married say that a woman's money is her money, but a man's money is our money.
It's our money.
A sweet woman will not do this. Oh yes. If your husband's money is her money, then your money should be our money as well.
Sure.
That should not mean that the man should always be collecting a woman's money, but the woman should always be ready to support the man with the little that she has. Secondly, a sweet woman is that woman, as my brother put it, that keeps a man in the home. Every man wants peace, and so if he finds peace in the home, at the little time that he has to be free, he will be in the home. But when there's no peace in that home, even if he has nothing to do, you want to find himself in town or in a friend's house. There's a woman who do not give peace to their men at home, murmuring, ranting, and complaining about petty things. These things put men off. And so when you live with a man, the little thing, hey, no one saw with mama, man, you didn't do this, and they see you to be a serial complainer.
Right.
And so certain things that are very serious about you, there are times you will say they will not take it serious because it has been your slogan, it has been your theme, it has been your topic all the time, and it carries no value.
All right.
And so when the woman,
so a sweet woman should not do that.
no, the sweet woman
Thank you.
always creates an atmosphere where the man is always home. That man, when he's even at work and he's busy, he wants to find some time and go home because that sweet woman is at
waiting.
home.
All right. That's beautiful. Thank you, Obed.
Angato, I think this issue we are talking about is very detailed.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of characteristics that is associated to it. And our women out there, as they are expecting a lot from the men to be done for them, so we are also asking that they come out with an equal measure and give back to the men. One thing I would like the women to understand is that, like I put earlier, they should be able to understand their own psyche, not with the men understanding them. Now, if you are one person that you don't know yourself, then you cannot be able to treat somebody to come into your domain. Because you know yourself before you can be able to rope other people to come, because you already know how to control your territories. Women naturally have some hormonal changes once a while. And even in a month, a woman can transition in about 3 stages in a month. They have, when they are menstruating, there are different hormonal changes. After menstruation, different hormonal changes. Ovulation. And within ovulation, there are different hormonal changes. Sure. All these things do occur. So if you're a woman and you understand all this kind of phases that is happening in your life, then you know when and where your temperament peaks. So if you don't understand this, anything, sometimes you may be in those times when your husband will come to, or your partner may come to ask you a question. No, because we are in those states and it's bound to happen, naturally the hormones will just trigger it and will just give a nasty answer. And all those things do not contribute and do not frame you as a sweet African woman. Maybe prior to that issue, that communication that you had that went very bad. You might have done a lot of things, but just because of one communication that has gone bad, without you understanding yourself and how you'll be able to pull the issues back to communicate to your partner, it has gone well. So I'll just entreat our women. They should know themselves very well before when coming out with anything, they can be able to frame it up well for our men.
All right, okay.
I also want to add up for you guys.
The ladies will come. No, yeah, you will come. You come very soon.
All right, Angato. Now, why we saying African women? You see, in the global world, when you mention Africa, or basically African woman to be precise, or basically, now it is about humbleness,
or humility.
Or humility.
Yeah.
I come again with another word.
Start with it's about maybe
Okay.
humility.
It's about when you mention.
You start.
All right. It's about humility, hospitality. The reason being that in Africa, our values, the values doesn't permit a lady to be arrogant. Neither does it permit men
to be arrogant.
Right. But you know that men comes naturally with their own ego. That one is there. But for a woman, African woman, by the training that you get in your house, you have been nurtured and cultured to be humble and then to be hospitable. So when we talk about a sweet African woman, then we are talking about a woman that is able to exhibit this kind of behavior or characteristics. So if a woman doesn't know how to receive people, to welcome people into her home, then that woman fails to be an African woman or African lady. And for that matter, she is not a marriage material, because your man or the man that you're going to marry does not exist in a vacuum. He has a family, and for that matter, they will be coming into your marital home for a visit. So when they come and you are not able to receive them well, or you are not able to give them that kind of warm reception, then it means that you have failed to be an African woman. So an African woman is a woman who also knows how to receive visitors into her home and then make them cheerful or make them excited after they are gone. That is what we can also, that's one of the aspects that we can also say or look at it and say that when a woman exhibits this kind of behavior, then we cannot hesitate to say that she is a sweet African woman.
Thank you, brother.
Angato, another thing that a woman can do for her to be called a sweet African woman is a woman who respects a man. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
Angato, have you seen a very a well-built man following a very young lady before? Have you
Yes,
seen
yes,
that?
I've seen some.
Yes. And have you seen an older man following a younger lady?
Yeah, I've seen some.
Yes. Why do you think those things happen? Men, God created us in a very different way. And the key to men is with women. The key to men is with women. That is where young girls are able to manipulate bigger men or older men. And so when the man sees that I am respected, I am valued in this environment, he always wants to be there. But the situation whereby he does not find that kind of respect, naturally, God has given men that source of ego, as my brother said. And that ego, somebody has to trigger it. The man should feel that he's in charge here. He is the boss. He is the king. And when a woman knows this and she does for the man sees that woman to be a sweet woman, and he's always ready to be with that woman.
All right.
And let's also look at the women talk about the bedroom issues. I also want to type this. You know, men are moved by the things they see. And it is the things that we see that goes into the mind.
Yeah.
And then it forms other things. There's a woman who do not keep themselves very well. You meet this nice lady, and we know that that lady cannot maintain that body forever. But she can manage it. But some people will give birth to 1 or 2, and then she says, no, after what does she need? She doesn't need to entice anybody again.
So she doesn't want to make any effort.
No, she doesn't want to make any effort to entice the man as she did from the beginning. And so when a man begins to see that what he saw from the beginning, this woman is not what? Giving it to him. The body is changing, and you are not taking charge of your body. Sometimes it pushes the man or the man from the bedroom, because the woman that he used to enjoy is not the same thing that he's seeing. And the same thing in the bedroom to Ankrato. Some women after marrying, they see that we are all in a cage. We have been locked, and the key is in our pocket, and so we all die here. They don't want to do anything different. They don't want to spice anything. And when it happens that way, you don't be that sweet woman that the man wants. And if you're not very careful, that man may go outside to seek for that interest that he wants to see. Some women, even when their husband wants to sleep with them and they want to spice up by adding some style, the woman says, hey, we are Christians, we cannot do this. And so when it happens this way, it means that all the time it will be one way. And you know, when we eat one food for a very longer time, you will lose interest.
Marginal utility.
Exactly. And so when a woman is able to identify all these things in her own way to spice that relationship or that moment,
all right,
it will keep the man, and the man will always see that woman to be very sweet.
All right, thank you very much. And the man will see that woman to be very sweet. You are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. So many things are going on. People are losing their husbands. People are losing their wives. The scripture even tells us that we should transform by renewing our mind. As men, there are certain notions that our fathers and forefathers had about women. Some of them were good, some of them also did not help. Example, like the woman's home is the kitchen.
Yeah.
Similarly, there were other notions they also held about men. Bema, and yes, you know, a man is not like people where you put your head. And because of that, some people think that they don't need to, sit to think through life with their husbands. Whichever the case, you have a role to play to keep your husband home. You also have a role to play to keep your wife home. We pray that we'll do our best. Some people are even going to see all sorts of people. False prophets are telling people things that are not true. Apart from the fact that they are taking their money, they are taking some of them through certain things that are not supposed to be done. We are having this discussion, so at the end of the day, you will learn and I also will learn. Thank you very much for listening to us. We are not done yet. We will still go on to listen to what our ladies have to say. And after the ladies are done, our brother will summarize it for us. So ladies, do you have anything to say in support?
Yeah, sure. I think I'll just talk on 2 points to add up to what our brothers have said. To me, my definition of a sweet African lady is a lady who supports his husband or his partner to achieve something. So an intelligent lady, you are sweet. When you buy into your husband's ideas or your partner's ideas, if sometimes the ideas are not the best, you bring out what you think is the best. You sit You make your submissions to your husband. You are concerned about your husband's what should I say, projects or any investment ideas your husband has or your partner has, and you contribute towards it. That is a sweet African lady. And the second one is, let me say, a lady who is respectful, and I would define it in this way. I have this friend, a male friend actually, who once told me that so any man who respects you, most men cheat, okay? There are some men who cheat, but a man who respects you, trust me, will never throw it at your face, would hide it. You would hardly even notice. Even when someone says it, you wouldn't believe. I think most women now, we have this issue. We don't respect ourselves. Why would you want to look into your partner's phone and to his laptop? For what?
Repeat that again.
Why would you like to look into your husband's or your partner's phone or laptop? For what?
For what?
No, you have
For
to respect
what, my
yourself. You know, we all have our privacies. We have things that excite. Sometimes you might misread something.
You want to kill yourself?
You want to go to the bathroom and cry?
Exactly. I always say that I wouldn't like to work with my partner in the same office. He would ask me why. I want both of us to have fun when we are out. Okay, have our lives.
Fun how?
Because at the workplace, for instance, I have male colleagues that we could share certain jokes, which are harmless. But then if your partner is to be there and to see it, he might get jealous. He might read meaning into. Meanwhile,
Even get angry.
there is nothing going on.
Alright.
So that is why I wouldn't even look into his phone, because there could be some conversations that they are merely jovial. You didn't even see the beginning of the message. You just saw a middle part of something. So a sweet woman is someone who respects the husband's privacy.
Thank you very much.
Aww.
Yes, Miss Ready?
When
Yeah,
you go
to add up to the
Japanese,
respect, I think men respect for life. Men respect for life. I repeat again. When you love, when you want to really know a man loves you, you have to respect the man. You can do everything you want for him, buy him gifts, buy him everything he wants,
Give
like
him good
give him
sex.
food, give him good sex. But if you don't respect a man, he will never love you.
Thank you.
Because men as a whole always want to be respected.
Exactly.
So my ladies, please, let's try every effort to respect a man, whether you are in a higher position or you take more salaries than your husband, whatever it is. He is the head of the family, and you always be the head of the family. You can't be the head of the family because you are taking about 5,000 and your husband is taking 2,000. No matter what, he's the head of the family, so you have to give him the due respect. Since men respect their love as respect, please respect them and show them all the necessary, give them the maximum respect they need in the house. And trust me, you are going to enjoy your relationship. The second point, I'll take it from Proverbs chapter 31, verse 11 downwards. He said, her husband puts his confidence in her, and he will never be poor.
Oh no!
Yes.
That is what
The
I'm
verse
talking
11
about.
alone, I would even emphasize on it on the verse 11, but you can read more when you are free or after this
31.
video. You can read more about it, about
Please,
a
can you
woman.
repeat it for me?
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 11 downwards.
Good.
Yes. A man have confidence in a woman. That is why there's a saying that behind every successful man is a woman. So my women, the men have that belief and the power in us. Let's not let them down.
Oh.
That confidence they have in us, let us hold on to that confidence. When they bring their issues to us, let us not throw them away. Let us not just take them as anything. They trust us. That is why they bring their issues to us. Oh, about Efia, and they say, welcome it, address it, help him make decisions, because they believe that when you are part of them, they say then the two shall be one. So your husband believes in you, have that confidence in you, say, this is my woman, this is my woman, she's not going to let me down. So with the confidence, I will come back to our dressing as ladies. Some men have so much confidence that if you let them down, that is all. They know that, this is my wife, she's pretty. So this my wife knows how to cook. This my wife keeps the house neat. Please, let's maintain that confidence our husbands have in us. Don't let your husband go outside, bring the friends thinking, oh, this my wife is going to maintain the house nicely, and your husband will come, your children's pampers are on the deck six, the Cerelac you fed your children, your baby inside is on the center table. Please, you will really disappoint your husband. Let that confidence they have in us, maintain it all the time, so that they will be proud. They will be proud of marrying you. They will be proud of the woman they have invested into. And the last one I'll talk about is a nagging wife. Ladies, we like nagging too much. Please, let's put a stop to it. Even if we can't put a stop to it, let's minimize it. And I want that woman, and I'm a Juma, and I'm a bread, and I won't call on a hard when they're also your children. Find a nice way of talking to your husband. And let's reduce the nagging. When you nag and they go, they wouldn't come back when they go out. When they go and this lady is feeding them, no matter what, the lady, the moment he sees your husband, goes out to prepare food, sets him a table, and then he comes to the house, and then you are saying, because you didn't come to help me, because I've been washing the whole day, I couldn't cook for you, or he will go outside. Whatever is in the house, we have a lot of women outside. Doing it for men outside, doing it for your husband, doing it better than that. Dress nicely, my ladies. Some ladies, after they are done married, after they have the ring on their finger, they behave as if they're on top of the world. They dress anyhow because they have that ring on their finger. Please, my ladies, after marriage, that is when you have to dress well. For people to know that your husband is really taking good care of you. Dress nicely when you are going out, not because you are going to impress someone outside, but because you want people to know that when your husband came for you from your parents' house, he has reformed you, he has made you a good, and he's making you look more beautiful. Thank you.
To add to what everyone has said, I also like to chip in something small. Ladies, just as we want our men to know us, and then know our strengths, weakness, and then certain things we like, we should also try and then study our men, especially our wives. We should try and then study our husbands, and then know their strength, know their good days and then bad days, know when he's feeling down, know when he needs someone to talk to. Because normally men are people that you hardly see them cry, but they cry a lot. Inwardly, they cry a lot. Meaning they need someone to open up to. So we should be people that our husbands can come to and then talk to us. We should be very homely, so that our men don't go outside, share their worries with people outside, and then, when they start sharing their worries with people outside, then they tend to go there more often, and that's where the problem starts from. So we should be homely, be receptive, stop nagging. The nagging is number one repellent for the men. It repels them. So we should stop nagging. If you don't understand anything, doesn't mean shout or
scream.
Yes. Talk it out with him. He's a human being. He has ears. He can hear you. We don't need to scream it. And then also, just as we want to be surprised and then be giving gifts, we should also try and then be giving our men gifts and then be surprising them. It's not when it's Val's Day that you get him one singlet, one boxer, one handkerchief, and then that's all. Just as you want a chocolate, you want flowers, you want a car, you can also surprise your man with a car. If you can afford it. If you can afford it.
Some women can afford, but they will not do it.
All right, that's wonderful. Before our brother Obed concludes everything, I hope we've heard the beautiful things our ladies said. Santa Obeheno, who could row be jidu, and ya bonsambia na yo, maybe few who buy. I know, and you didn't be a wusubai. All I'm trying to say is that sometimes somebody may be taking your husband away from you. Sometimes maybe some things you've taken for granted. Sometimes it may not be that reason. Whatever it is, we should do our best to keep our men. Before we go home, let's hear from our brother Obed.
Uncle Tumudasi, I think both our men and ladies have spoken very well on the topic that is an ideal sweet African woman. And all those things that they have said are things that when you put all of them together, it makes the home lively. But I'll touch on this. Having a ring on your finger is not a panacea for sustaining your marriage. And that I take it again. When the ring is being put on that finger that you've been longing for, and that marriage has eventually happened, and your friends have come to marry with you, and you get that ring, the ring is never going to help you sustain your marriage for the rest of your life. But it is what you do in the marriage that is what determines how far your marriage will go. Whether it is collapsing from the beginning of the marriage or it is going to last till eternity, as God Himself has promised. And I would want to say here, and I think I may sound a bit controversial here. I have always said that marriage is a situational approach. And I don't know how maybe others may think, but from my view and from the sort of readings I have done, and probably from certain kind of experiences that I have had, marriage is a situational approach. When issue comes, how you deal with the issue determines whether your marriage is going to last or your marriage is going to break.
Sure.
So what is happening at a particular time determines the kind of maturity that you have. Whether you have grown within over the years or you are still in your baby stages.
Sure.
So I will entreat my women out there. I will entreat my men out there. We all need to fortify our minds. So I will plead to become an ideal person, have a matured mind, so that as and when issue come, you can be able to solve it and you bring peace to your home, and together you can have a very good relationship and you live to eternity. Thank you.
I think we've done well for ourselves. Let's Thank you very much, my honorable panel members. This Prime Testimony channel, we've heard it all. Who a sweet African lady is. You can be that kind of sweet African lady. It doesn't matter your mistakes. The Bible tells us that we should come and let us reason together, even where we've gone wrong. You might have done things you shouldn't have done. You might have made certain mistakes, but it is still not too late. Watch this video again and again. Share this video. Share your thoughts at the comment section. And I will invite you always to watch Prime Testimony channel. God bless you.